Women are extremely good at looking after their health, whereas men are better at looking after their own cars. Well, it's time to change that. I've come to meet Errol, who's not only beaten prostate cancer, he's spreading awareness about the disease.
My wife was complaining about my snoring. I said to her, make an appointment with the doctor and I'll go. And while I was in the waiting room, I picked up a leaflet from Prostate Cancer UK. When I read the leaflet, I felt, I should do something about this test. I spoke to the reception lady. She said, Mr. McKellar, this test only takes 10 minutes. You don't have to make an appointment. We can do this today.
Simple blood test.
Simple blood test. Yeah. They did it there and then. They said to me was that your readings were quite high, and then I had the scan, and then the doctor sat me down in the room and he said, Mr. McKellar, your prostate is covered in cancer. If we don't remove your prostate, you could be dead in 6 months.
Errol was only 53 when he discovered he had cancer.
Straight after being diagnosed, I had the operation, to remove the prostate.
I mean, it's the same with most cancers, isn't it?
Yeah.
The earlier you catch it, the better.
Exactly.
That means the quicker you can start the treatment, and the more likelihood of a good outcome in the end.
Yeah. It took 5 years, for me to be given the all clear. When it comes to prostate cancer, all I'm saying is there's no cure if you leave it. In my questions to people, I often ask them, do you know where your prostate is?
Yes.
And the sad situation, I've had one guy point to here.
Yes.
So if that's where he thinks his prostate is, then we've got a problem.
The prostate is a small walnut-shaped gland that is part of the male reproductive system, and it's positioned below the bladder.
Men over 40, 50 years old, older men are particularly at risk of developing prostate cancer. And in particular, men of Afro-Caribbean origin are also at increased risk of developing prostate cancer. And actually that's really important because they do develop prostate cancer about 5 years earlier than white men.
Common symptoms include getting up more frequently in the night to pass urine, having difficulty getting started and stopping when weeing, and passing a poorer stream. Back at Errol's garage, he's telling me how he's raising awareness of prostate cancer in his community.
I offer my customers a 20% discount if they get their prostates checked. A customer came in, we had a conversation. When was the last time you had your prostate checked? And he looked at me and he said, well, my gearbox is not. What's that got to do with my gearbox not working? But 2 weeks later, he came back waving this paper. He had cancer in his prostate, And we stood there and we both had tears in our eyes because he said, I would never have gone for this test had you not have said it to me.
Yes.
Can I leave one of these about prostate cancer, trying to raise the awareness of prostate cancer?
Errol is an inspiration and is one of the lucky ones that's beaten cancer. Getting a prostate cancer test is simple and straightforward, so go for it.